Folks, this is Goddard Radio Moscow here again with another beer review for you. Today will be my first Scottish beer review. I have the Innis Gunn original oak-aged beer. Innis Gunn are an independent brewing company based in Edinburgh. They were established in 2003. Now, originally, they were a joint venture. They were owned jointly between the Innis Gunn Group and Grant's Whisky Distillery. But in 2008 there was a management buyout and now the brewery is independent. But this particular beer has an interesting story behind it. Grant's wanted a malty, full-flavoured beer to use to infuse their maturation casks for the whisky. So Innis Gunn put together a custom-made recipe and stuck it in the casks. And then it was removed after 30 days. And then the whisky that was developed from that by Grant's has in itself gained a very good reputation. But the whisky distillers got curious about the beer and decided to sample it. And they found that the beer itself was pretty damn good. And they phoned up Innis Gunn, got them to come and taste it, and then it developed from there. The beer has grown into this, and it's exported around the world now. It's become a very popular beer, and it's a very unique beer itself. Innis Gunn, this is one of the 3 core range beers, which includes the original, which is the red label. There's a blonde as well, which has a blue label, and there's a rum one, which is notably darker than the other 2, and you can find it in a black label. They have a seasonal range as well, which also includes an Irish rum cask, Scottish pale ale, spiced rum, and a winter treacle porter. I'm sure there's a couple of other ones. I'm sure I've seen one that is a Canadian, it's matured in a Canadian redwood cask. But the recipe is derived from the accidental find, if you like, of the beer that was matured in the whisky cask, and so it's grown from there. I'll just let you have a little look at the bottle itself. It has quite a nice little thing. You can see the little whisky barrels on the top with the ING on it. I'll just let you have a little look at the bottle cap. This is I have quite a collection of bottle caps. Just let you have a look at this one. I quite like it, the nice little star with the ING whisky barrels on it. It's quite good. So we'll just get this poured again, have a little look at it. You can see there's quite a bit of a bubbly head to it. There's not so much carbonation in this one. It's a very nice sort of reddy amber taste to it. The head on it's fading very quickly actually. Not as quickly as some I've seen, right enough, but it is fading away. And we'll just give this one a little smell and see how it goes. You can smell it almost smells like burnt sugar. You can detect a little bit of, you can smell the burnt sugar is quite dominant. You can smell a little bit of vanilla, and you can definitely smell the sort of the oakiness of the casks that it's obviously been matured in. I think there's a sort of a trace amount of like a whiskey smell to it, but that's not the dominant smell. The dominant smell is the burnt sugar. You can see it's quite clear. There's a little bit of cloudiness, but it's not very cloudy at all. It's quite clear and see right through it. I really like the colour of this one actually. I've had this a few times before and I tasted it and really enjoyed it. But I'll give it a little taste again. When I had this one before, I thought it's a very unique taste. It's difficult to describe. You can taste the caramel and the vanilla in it. Like you can taste sort of the burnt. You can smell the burnt sugar and you can taste the caramel actually in the brew itself. There's the little hint of vanilla, which is obviously from the infusion from the whisky casks. That will be released when the beer's maturing in it, and the vanilla, to be fair, is kind of quite prominent, I would say. The vanilla becomes more prominent in the sort of aftertaste of it. It's quite when you first take it in, you can feel a little bit of carbonation, and then it smooths out. It's a very, very smooth beer. You can get there's a small hint of whiskey in it, but it's not anything big. There's not such a big thing with the whiskey. It's dominated by the caramel and vanilla, I would say. It's quite, I would say, it's a, it's kind of medium bodied. Like, I mean, the flavor of this it's surprisingly complex. Um, it's one I find it's quite difficult to describe this one, but like I would say the caramel, the sort of burnt sugary thing it's the most dominant one. It doesn't taste like honey beer. You can taste the oakiness in it. There's maybe a little bit of earthiness in it, and just a little sort of a little hint of whiskey. But it's a very surprising flavour, and I mean, this beer, it doesn't look like anything special, which is surprising. It's surprising that it can have such a complex flavour. This is one I would say, like, I was never particularly into Scottish beer until I had this one, and then obviously Brewdog's come along and I've tried that as well. But Innis Gunn are definitely worth a shout. I've had the rum cask and I've had the blonde as well, and they're both very nice as well. You can't really go wrong with Innis Gunn. From what I hear, Innis Gunn aren't so popular in the craft circles. A lot of people in the craft circles think it's not a very nice beer, but I enjoy this one. I'm into my craft beers as well, but I really enjoy this one just simply because of the uniqueness of the flavour. So what I would say is anything with Innis Gunn Brewery, take a look at it. This particular beer itself is very nice. I would say try this one as the first one because this is the original. So it seems a reasonable place to start. As normal, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments and things like that, and share what you think about the beer also. Thanks again for watching. Cheers just now.